Saturday, June 20th. I am officially live. I gave nobody a heads up like I seem to be doing these last few live streams, but I haven't spoken to people in a couple of weeks. So I just want to pop on here, see if anybody shows up. I think it'd be really cool if we can sit down, have a talk, find out how you all are doing, how COVID is treating you all. Another thing I'm considering is if we do plum streams, are you all interested in doing like specific topics on plum streams, or is it just the sort of thing where we're all just going to hang out and you guys bring up your questions, you peeps bring up your questions, and I try to answer them for you? We're going to find out. I got a thumbs up already. Is that L Dog? Is that L Dog who's giving me some love? We got two people in the room. What's going on? Please let me know how you are, what's happening. So I was telling you all a while back, it's gotten quite busy here at work in Ontario. Ontario is, man, I'm telling you, it feels like Toronto feels like it's at, man, really. Dave, what's going on, Dave? Dave, how is Kentucky, man? How's everybody treating you there? The bluegrass, all right? You guys, is the company that you were working for working yet? Or are they still waiting? What's going on? Man, it's hard to know state to state what's happening. But let's talk about some delicious plumbing. Let me know how you are. Work here is pretty busy. Dad and I were pulling some days, man. So we had 3 different jobs running at the same time. We had an entire condo. The condo came with 2 3-pieces, basically. Company is going slowly. Nice. Oh, man. Still laid off other than side hustles. Okay, Dave. Yeah, the last time we spoke, Dave, you were saying that you were doing some water closets. And I think you Oh, NKFGH, what's going on, fam? You doing okay? How's the resumes, man? Are you guys any hits yet? Any hits? So Dave, what sort of jobs are you doing on the side right now? Let me know, man. I'm interested. So we did a condo, 2 3-pieces. One was a bathtub. The second one was a shower pan, which wasn't too bad. So, and then we had an entire house where all the fixtures in the house were basically being redone. They were flipping the house, doing more of like a cosmetic flip than, maybe not actually. Yeah. It was more so, I guess it was more so cosmetic. So we put in, man, a ton of fixtures, a ton of fixtures. We had to add an entire water closet line for them. Um, yeah, so we did that, and then we started this other thing, this other job. We actually started right when COVID got serious here in Ontario. We got this one job, working side jobs with a friend doing renos, a little bit of everything. NKF, bro, good for you. Keep it up. Keep sending out those resumes. Any knowledge you can get under your belt right now is going to be just a plus walking into any company. So do that. What kind of work are you actually doing, NKF? Like, are you doing tiling? Are you doing drywall? Let me know. I'm interested in that. Lots of unclogging drains. Thank goodness for female long hair. Oh, LOL. You know what, man? You know what, man? There's something to be said about long hair in general. There's nothing that clogs up a drain like long hair. My favorite uncloggings are when you open up a P-trap and there is just, it looks like a ponytail of hair that's going in from the P-trap into the actual drain, and you take out the trap and you pull this entire ponytail out, because in your mind you're going, that was the clog right there. It's probably not further in at all. Another interesting thing that I really like, that I was really interested in learning in first year plumbing, was there's a type of siphonage called capillary action. And capillary action is when water walks along something like hair. So it'll walk along thread like a string, or it'll walk along hair. So capillary action will actually siphon your trap. Because all that hair is in the trap, it'll actually follow the hair into the drain. And then all of a sudden you'll have a sewage smell. And you'll be like, what's going on here? Anyways, that's a little bit of plumbing right there. So you're doing drywall, basic electrical, and plumbing framing. Nice. We're doing a whole house now, so there's lots to do. NKF, that's the way to do it, friend. And look, remember, as you're doing all this small stuff, or, like this as you're trying out these different trades, maybe it just so happens you're playing around with a little bit of electrical and you bump into an electrical company and they're like, hey, we're looking for an electrical apprentice. Are you interested? Look, keep your options open. I know plumbing is what you're interested in, but look, if it just so happens that the wind is blowing in a certain direction, it might be worth a shot to go in that direction. Just keep that in mind. If you like drywalling, taping, and doing drywall, that's an entire trade in and of itself. That's hours, that's an apprenticeship as well. So if it just so happens that the wind blows that way, all right, let it happen. That's how it happened with me. Plumbing, the wind blew towards plumbing because my dad was a plumber, right? I just got out of university. So keep that in mind. Like, I know you got your feet planted for plumbing and keep it going, but, if an opportunity comes your way, especially if all the other variables okay, hey, keep it open. Like, you already know how to do a little bit of drywall and electrical. Let's do it. Dave, also strangely enough, have a couple of vents clogged. Couple of vents. Awesome, NKF. Keep that up. Dave, how do you... Okay, so I gotta admit something. I had a couple of plumbers way back when, and this was a couple of years ago, that were telling me that they snaked their drains through the vents. And when they had said that to me, I started laughing. I was like, I have to go to a roof and I gotta send that through a vent. Like, it was really surprising for me. So Dave, are you living in an area where you guys have like flat roofing, where you have vents coming out of the house and you can snake from there? How do you even go about trying to unclog a vent? That's amazing. Yeah, I'm really NKF. Absolutely, keep your options open. Whatever goes your way. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's drywall, cool. If it's electrical, cool. But because I know this is an anecdotal kind of experience sort of thing. I typically find tradespersons could interchange jobs all the time. You meet a lot of tradespersons that are multi-talented in a lot of fields because they just enjoy working with their hands. It doesn't matter what they're working on. I know a lot of plumbers that actually they do mechanic work on their own cars, like they build cars on the weekends sort of thing. So I find that if you have the enjoyment of working with your hands, then it really doesn't matter what you get your hands on. You're going to have a lot of fun. So NKF, absolutely. Water hose through the vent. Oh, remember, it eventually hits the house main. Okay. It hits the house main if they put slope on it correctly. I agree with you, Dave. But if the installer or the plumber didn't put that vent in without any slope, or back towards the wrong way, or if they trapped the vent, game over there. Can we get a couple of thumbs up? What's going on here? So, peeps. David, when you're saying that the company is opening up a little bit, why aren't they hiring you? Like, what are they doing that they're not hiring? Not so much flat roof, but unprotected vents, bird drop stuff in over time. That is hilarious. Dave, I got a story for you. My dad told me this. Oh, Juan, what's going on? How are you, Juan? My dad told me this a couple weeks back. He goes, one day he gets a call and he starts snaking this drain, and something is inside this drain that is not moving whatsoever. And he's going with the K39. It's a tiny, like, handheld one. I think it's like a quarter inch coil. And he's fighting this drain, man. And this drain ain't doing nothing. Like, it's just not working. So Dad upgrades it to the K50. Goes with the K50, starts sending it. All of a sudden, he hears this like a crack. And as he's pulling out, he starts pulling out something that looks like food. But as he continues pulling out, man, he pulled out an entire chestnut. So there must have been a squirrel running by or hiding chestnuts, and they were just dumping it in this vent, or they ran by and it fell out and it went into this vent, and the poor owner had a minimum service charge that they had to deal with because we were friends, you know what I'm saying? So that was an interesting story right there. Birds drop stuff all the time. Squirrels over here, chipmunks, something like that, man. That's hilarious that goes down, man. Juan, if you're still here, what's going on with you? Are you working right now? You waiting for work to pick up? Dave, why aren't they hiring you, Dave? You want me to call your company? I got some words. Company is getting more service style jobs. Not so much new construction. I'm still a low man on totem pole. Okay, so higher people get back before me. Okay. Dave, I understand, man. You got to cut your teeth, work your way up that totem pole, but eventually they're going to be calling you for everything. So you did a lot of unclogging this week. Man, honestly, the drain machines that we have been a blessing, and they bring in a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? A lot of work. A lot of our jobs are unclogging drains. And the good thing, what I really like about drain work is that at some point you get good enough to know what's going on with the drains when you hear certain garglings, or when water's going into the bathtub when you flush the toilet. You start noticing these patterns and getting better at ascertaining which way you're going to start snaking this to make it work. So drain work at some point gets much significantly easier, assuming that the variables are not kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing really crazy happened. So drain work is. Oh, Dave, you're a sweet creature, man. Bread and butter is drain clogs and filter changes on the HVAC side. Dave, I appreciate the super chat. Peeps, all the super chat money is going to go straight towards. Did somebody else super chat me? Did I get a $3 super chat I didn't see about? Oh, did I get a $3 super chat? Where did the $3 come from? Dave, I appreciate you. Whoever gave me $3, I want you to know I love you. I just can't see where the $3 came from. Man, love you guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, peeps. All the money's going to go straight back into video editors, okay? I ain't going to be using that for myself. I'm using it just for you, peeps, okay? So, yeah, once you get good at drain work, it's a sort of thing where you can just, sort of not take your time, but get comfortable on the job and, get everything ready to go and get going, like what I'm saying is at some point when you get comfortable with drain work, it's the sort of thing that you really know what you're doing. You're not nervous going into the drain. I remember when I first started plumbing, there was always a lot of insecurity around, am I going through the right drain? Should I do something else? Should I maybe go from above? But once you get good at it, it's the sort of thing that you go, all right, I know how to tackle this. And I've noticed in plumbing and in life in general, knowing the way to tackle a project is a lot more takes a lot more skill than doing the work itself. Knowing how to tackle it so it doesn't become a problem down the road, what a big deal. Engaging it the appropriate way, starting the drain from the right spot, man, because you can actually make your life way harder and you'll spend twice as much time and the customer has to pay twice as much time, in order for you to get things done. So drain work has been a blessing. And filter changes on. All right, so that's good. Who else we got in here? Let me know how you're doing. I want to know what's going on wherever you are. How's COVID treating you all? COVID, we just went into phase 2. All the areas outside of Toronto itself just went into phase 2, which basically means that patios have opened up and a couple of other things. Oh, Mark! What's going on? Hey, Kenny, I appreciate all the videos you made and posted. I'm looking to get into the trades, and everything you've made has been very insightful. Mark, that's what I'm here for, friend. I'm really happy it's been helpful to you. Mark, are you thinking about plumbing or are you thinking about other trades? Let me know, because that'd be an interesting conversation. So to fix drains on the outside of the wall, I place a drain cleaning location. I forget what the part is called. So in the future, just remove the cap and snake the pipe. Are you talking, so you're talking about like a clean out, Dave? Like you put a clean out in so that the next time you have that issue, you have a clean out ready to go. Yeah, exactly, a clean out. Clean outs are a blessing, eh? So here's something you have to know. In Ontario, according to the code, every kitchen drain needs a clean out, but most of the kitchen drains we come to don't have clean outs at all. But according to code, they're supposed to have cleanouts, from what I remember, unless it's changed. And they're such a blessing because you can run the water while snaking the drain, which, let me tell you, changes the entire job altogether, because a lot of times you'll run your coil and you got to overshoot. Even if you feel like you hit something, you got to overshoot just to be sure. There's nothing worse than throwing in a really far amount of coils. Let's say you put in 8K50 coils, or like let's say 5K50 coils. So you're around 35, 40 feet. And then you pull it all back just to find out that you had to go a sixth cable or a seventh cable. Man, the words I use in those situations, no Christian should be saying. You know what I'm saying? So having the water there is useful because as you run the water, you're able to see how the drain reacts. If it still keeps coming out, oh, okay, shut the water. More coils. Let's get that going. Absolutely. Cleanouts are a blessing, and they're always a great idea to install. And I think whoever made it code really knew what they were doing with drain work because, man, there are certain drains that keep having the same situation happen. And you just get a more thorough clean if you have water running in the back. So, Dave, absolutely. So, we got Marshall's Mellows. Hey, Kenny, have you run into a plumber starting out? Have you run into new plumbers starting out new in their 30s? I just turned 30 and I'm looking for a change. My province has an older workforce, so workers going to be around in the future. Marshall's Mellow, listen, here's what you have to understand. I have an entire video called, how old are you? Something about, are you too old to become a plumber? Marshall's Mellow, listen. It is known that the average the average age that people get into plumbing at this point is actually within the 30s. I think it's 27 is the average. So in other words, there's a lot of people coming into it way later. David right here started in his 40s. Mark is 37 and he's just getting started. I started at 26. It's not a young person's game. Like in other words, you don't have to be young to get into this game. You have to be ready to cut your teeth. And also have to be able-bodied to be able to do the work. You know what I'm saying? You have to have the patience for it. You have to have the enjoyment out of it. You know, like enjoyment really helps in your learning process. If you don't enjoy it, you're not going to learn very fast. So Marshall's Mellow, absolutely. If this is what you want, NKF is 37 and he's trying to get in. If this is what you want, age doesn't matter, friend. And you got to remember that for the rest of your life. Like, okay, I'm never going to probably be able to compete on the world stage with soccer. You know, I'm 33 now. The average age of getting in is probably 26. If you're really good like Cristiano Ronaldo, he was signed at 14, 15. Okay, that might not work, but plumbing is not that. And most other things are not that. Getting into music, getting into whatever. Most things are not that. And there's a ton of people with so much drive, nothing can stop them at any age. At any age. So don't ever look at age as a downfall. That's only a strength. That means you're walking in with more experience. That's it, okay? So, sorry, peeps, I got a little bit motivational. It's a life skill till you die. NKF, exactly. Exactly. I missed a couple of questions. Mark, plumbing, my friend, has an in for me at his dad's company. Okay, Mark. He's a licensed journeyman, and I would like to be his apprentice. Mark, try it out, fam. Don't hesitate. Call him up. Say, look, I'm ready to get in. If you need help, I'm ready. I'm ready. Absolutely, Mark. Let me know how that goes. I'm really excited for you. And KF's 37. I could be an Oompa Loompa right now, so plumbing, good fit for me. Dave, I agree. I think I understand what you're saying. Absolutely. Yeah, so Marshall's Mellow, absolutely. Don't let... Your 30s are probably going to be some of your best years, especially in regards to learning and in regards to work. I felt, honestly, I didn't feel like my mind came together until I got into my 30s. I know that sounds weird, but, you know, my 20s, I was a different person in my 20s, you know, and I was starting that journey of becoming the person I am today. But I don't know, these past couple of years, knock on wood, don't want to jinx myself, but my 30s I have felt my cognitively at my best in my 30s. So Mark, Marshall's Mellow, do not stop. Go for it. If this is your passion, this is your dream, chase it. Chase it. That's your job. Your job is to find the thing that you wake up every morning and you say, yeah, this is what I enjoy doing. That's your job, okay? Make sure you find that out, all right? Find that out, chase it. You know, that's all I can say. NKF, David, all these other cats that we have here chilling with us today are saying that they're well above 30. And that's the way this works, man. This is a life skill, like NKF is saying. This is something you take with you to the grave. You know what I'm saying? You'll be taking this into your afterlife if you believe in that. You know what I'm saying? So everybody needs plumbers at whatever age they come in. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks. Marshall's Mellow, absolutely. That's why we're here. Peeps, I want to do a quick shout out. Listen, NKF is doing a bunch of work right now that's renos, and NKF really wants to get into plumbing. So I'm going to say this a couple of times tonight and in the next few live streams. If any of you are in the Ontario area, and I think NKF lives in, man, I think you were saying Vaughan. So if you are from the Ontario area and you know of any companies that are hiring, please let us know right here on this live stream. Send us a message so that NKF can throw out a resume, because it's been, yeah, Vaughn, because it's been a few weeks that we've been talking about this. So NKF, every live stream I do until you get that spot, I'm gonna bring it up every time, okay, fam? So let me know. Let us know, please, because NKF's been looking for a while, and I know there are companies that are interested, but we need to know the names of these companies so we can send those resumes out. So that is my 2 cents on that. Any more questions? More things? Dave, you did a bunch of drain calls. NKF is doing a bunch of drywall and electrical. What was I talking about before the age thing? I can't remember now. Mark has just started. Yeah, Mark, get into that company. Absolutely. Ask your buddies. I think it was a friend of yours. Yeah. Ask your friend's father if he's willing to take you on. I'm sure it's always easier to hire somebody you know, because you know the devil in front of you. You know what I'm saying? You know the devil in front of you. You're afraid of the devil you don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's an interesting saying. That's an interesting saying. I don't know how true it is. Sometimes I think it is true, and I think people are afraid of leaving things because they at least know how bad this person is. But anyways, try. Oh, NKF, dude. I appreciate you, fam. Honestly, man, I know you've been working hard trying to get together and get into a company, and man, if I can help, I'm hoping I can help. I really appreciate love and support, friends. That means the world to me, NKF. I appreciate that a lot. But keep doing what you're doing, because I think you're doing the right thing. Trying out these different apprenticeships, absolutely. Keep your foot in the door. Get as many skills as you can, because what's really interesting is that there's a lot of conversation between trades. Like at these jobs I've been telling you about, we work with these general contractors that do drywall, they do tile, they do framing, they do everything, right? And a lot of times I got to turn to them and say, okay, so what do you want me to do? You want me to take the bathtub and split the difference between the two walls, or do you want me to push it up against one wall? And before you know it, you're learning things off of them that you need. So as a plumber, it's always useful to know what the drywaller's going to want, you know what I'm saying? So, or what the tiler's going to need. And the tiler comes up to us and they say, so what do we do with the flange? Do we put it on top of the tile? Do we do it flush? And we talk to them about that. So NKF, you're doing the right thing. Learn as much as you can. And again, whichever way the wind's blowing, if something comes your way, don't be hesitant to take it. Take it. Try it out. Man, you got nothing to lose. Try it out. If you like, awesome. If you don't like it, man, all right. Plumbing it is, you know what I'm saying? So just keep your head in the game. Keep your head in the game. More questions, peeps. Any questions about plumbing that you'd be interested in knowing? Maybe I can shed some light on a few questions here. So we got Oompa Loompa comments, Dave. That got me. That got me good. Yeah. Cleanouts are really important, like I was saying. Somebody sent me money, and I don't know who it is, man. I don't know who it is, but I appreciate it. I just want you to know I appreciate it. Victor Jimenez is here, peeps. The internet's gonna break down. Victor, I haven't heard from you in a while. How is the job site? Are you back at the casino? DeVault Tools, David. I'm a Milwaukee guy. Don't hate me. Please don't hate me, Dave. I have, okay, I got to be honest though. My dad got a wicked set of a DeVault trimmer and a DeVault like blower, and this is for like mowing the lawn, right? For trimming the lawn. Man, those things are pretty badass. And DeVault has always been really high in our books. We have this one guy that we work with that's DeVault crazy for it, right? Actually, my skill saw, not my skill saw, sorry, my chop saw is DeVault. So, mad respect to DeVault. It's unfortunate just because I started with the other tools. And you're saying never hate, just messing. No, David, no, Dave. I know you're messing. I know you're messing. Victor, why are you transferring, bro? I'm moving to Indiana. Oh, so I'm trying to get into the plumbing union there. Okay, Vic. Cool. I think you're doing the right thing. You're trying to get in before you move? Is that how it goes? And can your current union talk to that union? Is that how it goes? You are a Milwaukee man yourself, except my oscillating tool. Love the yellow duck. Oh, the oscillating tool is the one that opens up the, I think it's the one that opens up the Wurzbow pipe. Peeps, I got to ask you a question. I used Wurzbow for the first time. No. I used Wurzbow for the first time in plumbing school. This was 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. Do you have to open the Wurzbow pipe 3 times before the fitting goes in? Is that the number that everybody... I remember it going z, 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 and by the 3rd time you're the whole way in and you open it up, and you do that with the coupling and whatever. Is it 3 times for everybody? Yeah, the business managers have to talk to each other. It's a long process. Okay, Vic, keep going. No, oscillating tool is used for cutting holes. Oh, my bad, Dave. I don't know what I'm saying. Business manager has to talk. Well, that's awesome. Awesome. Vic, why, you know what? It's none of my business, but if you feel like yes on the expander. Okay, perfect. So it's 3, Dave? So, Vic, what's make it, if you want to talk about it, what's going on in Indiana that's not happening in Philly, or is Philly still kind of in lockdown right now? Peeps, how's everything going in the States? Have these protests finally started? I should say riots. Have these riots? 3 or 4 depending. Okay, Dave, thank you. Because I was doing it 3 times thinking to myself, man, I don't know. Sometimes it didn't feel like it went over correctly. So I expanded it more. Can you over expand these pipes? That's what I'm asking. Can you do it so that it ruins it? Like if I went into 5, would I just totally break the pipe? Do I have to cut it and start over? That's what I'm interested in. Vic, you just need a change? Only if you want to talk about it, brother. Don't make me... Oh, I have family in Indiana. I just want to be closer to them. It's too crazy this year. I just need a fresh start. Vic, crazy is an understatement for a description of this year. David Dillon, you're saying you don't think I can damage the pipe. Okay, that's good to know. But yeah, crazy is not the right word. I think it's the right step towards finding that right word, but this is... Man, I could only relate it to fruit. This is bananas, fam. This year, oh my gosh. Man, I think we're all going to be grandparents at some point. Thinking to ourselves, man, how did we survive 2020? That was crazy. So we didn't get, Dave, I don't know about the riot activity. I think what I definitely know is we had protests. And I definitely know that the companies downtown spent a lot of money boarding up their stuff in case it turned rioty. I don't know how bad it is. Canadians are too scared to riot, NKF. I don't know, friend. Do you remember the G20 summit, dude? This was probably 10, 15 years ago. But the G20 summit, man, there was some rioting there. How are the cops in Canada? LOL, Vic, man. Vic... Look, we got the same problems here. The same sort of, yeah, dude. Same thing. It's the same thing. Like, look, where I stand on it is that I think there are obviously incompetent police officers. You know what I'm saying? Incompetent, and in incompetence also comes fears of like discriminatory police officers, etc. And I think you find that everywhere. I think that's a human problem. I don't think it's a just a police problem. So we have situations like that here for sure. I was listening to but again, kind of like everywhere, I also think there's a lot of really good people on the police force at the same time, so I feel bad demonizing an entire force of things. But anyways, we're getting a little political. I've been listening to Joe Rogan, and I'm listening to Jocko Wilkins. I'm sure you all know both those names. But if you don't, really interesting podcast. Jocko comes from a Navy SEAL background, and he, after being deployed a few times, I think, he became a trainer in the Navy SEAL, and he's talking about how important it is to train. And then I listened to Ronnie Coleman, and Ronnie Coleman, as most of you probably know, Mr. Olympia 8 times, but also was a police officer, and he started talking about the amount of training he had to go through and continue to go through. And the numbers have changed in regards to the amount of money that police are getting for that training. And I do think training's a lot of, it weaves out a lot of bad behavior. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let me keep reading. David, one bad apple spoils it for the whole bunch, and that is sad. Good officers being lumped in with the bad ones. Dave, that's exactly what I think. I think that there are officers on every police force that are, multiple races, multiple backgrounds, multiple creeds. And you can't just paint with a big brush and say they're all bad, man. It's just they are also community members. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're also part of our community. And man, that's not to say there aren't bad cops, man. This is the George Floyd example is a obvious example of what that's like. You know what I'm saying? Victor, be careful. A lot of cops will be calling out sick on July 4th. This is getting crazy. It takes 6 months to be a police officer and 5 years to be a plumber. Okay, so a couple of things, Vic. Number one, man, I think what you're touching upon in the first thing, the calling in sick part, I think that's the tragedy behind this thick brush that some people are using in regards to, defund the police and stuff like that. Look, friends, the truth is that the good cops are afraid to be policing right now. That's the truth, because there are people that are painting with a wide brush like that, and the good cops are sitting back going, one day I'm going to have to use force, and people are automatically going to call me X, Y, and Z for it, and I think that's the truth. I think some people. And KF, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Defund. Listen. Whoa, we're getting really political. Listen. What we have to remember is there are A, bad people on this planet, and B, those people like easy roads. So in other words, look, one stat that scares the crap out of me is a lot of home burglaries are correlated with individuals that go on vacation, and before they go on vacation, they type on Facebook, hey, we're going on vacation to here. Look, burglars are scouring the internet for an easier lunch. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, these are pros. They don't want to walk into a house where everybody's there. They don't want to have to arm themselves. They don't want to walk into a house where there's a Doberman pincer. Like, these individuals do the work. It's a trade. Like, it's a trade. Listen, we're apprentices. We're trying to get into the trade of plumbing. Look, a lot of criminal activity is a trade as well, man. And people learn the trade and know the easy way around it. So defunding the police is a trade that we need to combat that trade. You know what I'm saying? So that does, Jocko said something really interesting about the amount of money we need to spend on our police force to train. I think that's the truth. Victor, if it's true, ZipRecruiter, MK, you're killing me. So, Vic, if that's true, it takes 6 months to be a police officer. I don't think that's enough. You know what I'm saying? It does take 5 years to become a plumber. It takes 5 years because it's not until your 5th year that you actually kind of know what you're doing. You know what I mean? So with the police force, it's sort of like it's sort of like a double-edged sword because I think the problem with policing is that I assume, and I don't know the numbers. I assume there's a fast turnover rate for a lot of police officers. So in other words, I think people get into the police force and they try it out for a few months and just to realize, man, I can't do this. I can't go to car accidents where people are dead. I can't go into communities where there's shootings every week and it's the community members that are suffering. Like, it's so hard. There's so much post-traumatic stress involved with the work. Like, I don't think it's an easy job at all. So, okay, sorry, give me one sec, Dave. Sorry. So, there should be more work and more training involved. But at the same time, if you're putting more training involved, it's hard to churn out police officers and good ones in a quick amount of time. In other words, but maybe that's what we need. Maybe we need to take a slower approach to doing that. But when your police force is dwindling and it's getting smaller and smaller, you know what I'm saying? Like, the problem is when there's high demand, it's because there are barely any police officers. So you're going to have to send out people that aren't trained, which is a scary thought. It's a really scary thought. And I have no idea how to solve it. I'm just spitballing here. Dave is saying, good point. Defunding is a bad idea, NKF. How many in the chat use an app to find work? If so, which one? Oh, sorry. NKF, I thought you were making a joke about finding police officers. Indeed, in ZipRecruiter. Got it. Sorry, I totally misunderstood that. Sorry, let me clarify. I meant jobs like I need someone to unclog a drain, not to hire a plumber. Oh, you guys know what's going on. You guys know what's going on. Yeah, so I don't know. So, Vic, if you're here, how is Philly doing? I remember you were talking about it a couple weeks back. You were saying it was pretty rough, and that was like, I think, at the height of the riots and stuff like that. Man, Lady Moore Natural, 20 years plumber here. What direction should I go with no license? Scared to test. Lady Moore, first of all, thanks for hanging out. So, Lady Moore, I got a question. Have you gone through the apprenticeship, or have you just gotten your hours? Where are you at? On Facebook Marketplace or Kijiji? Oh, interesting. You guys are really scouring the net trying to get work. Marshall's Mellow, Indeed and ZipRecruiter for finding cops. Haha. Yeah, that's what I thought NKF was saying. That's why I laughed. Let's fire up Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace too. Oh, Marshall's Mellow. Yeah, you understand what I thought was happening. Natural, take your test. Don't be afraid. I did a job corp. Appreciate. I think you're trying to say apprenticeship. So, Lady Moore, if you got your hours and you did your in-class sessions, and I assume you live in an area that has a similar apprenticeship to what I went through, which is 3 in-class sessions and you have your hours logged. Lady Moore, look, it might be worth taking the test as a run, as a run. So in other words, yeah, study for it. Study for it. Try it the first time. I know you're going to have to drop some cash to do this, but try it the first time. And after you try it the first time, you'll be able to then hone in on what you need to study. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's an option as well. Honestly, if you're in the game and you want to keep going with plumbing, or you're thinking of getting back into it and you want top dollar for your work, then licensing is the most important. If you're okay with taking a little bit of a pay cut because you're not licensed, just join a company. You know what I'm saying? I think those are your two options. But if licensing is a big deal to you, which it sounds like it is, I think, like myself, whenever I really want something, I'm sort of afraid of it at the same time. You know what I'm saying? All right, Lady Moore, keep studying. Do it up. And you know what? Try it out. Listen, Lady Moore, I messed up. I didn't mess up. I didn't pass my first test. That's what I should have said. I didn't pass my first test. And it just allowed me to hone in on the things that I wasn't good at. So, in other words, it's a learning experience, and that's what you need. So, you know what? Go in with no expectations the first time. Write, so you've been there, so you know the stress, so you know the time, and then after you finish, you sit down and you think to yourself, okay, what was on the test that I definitely didn't do good on? And then you hone in on that stuff, and you also continue studying the stuff you were good at. That's what you got to do. That's the game plan. That's how you eventually pass. If you got to write it 3, 4 times to get good at this, write it. Write it. Listen, you're going to be paid more in the future anyways. Write it. Invest that money and then write it. Get your license. You know what I'm saying? Also, there might be prep courses out there that might be worth taking a look at, Lady Moore. That might be worth it as well. Check that out. My sinuses have been killing me. All right. So we're done with talking about the police then, right? Any other questions? So everybody's on Kijiji and Facebook Market. That's pretty cool. Lady Moore. Okay, so David's saying, Lady Moore Natural here in Kentucky, our plumbing test is 3 parts. 1 is code, soldering, and 3 is fixture count on a house. If you fail 1 part, you have a year to take it again. Very cool. Kenny, how's your dad doing? Haven't seen him in a while. Vic, Dad is officially on the job sites with me. Knock on wood, he's doing really good. The numbers here in Ontario are looking pretty decent. So a few days back, we had 180 cases in all of Ontario. So he's doing good. He's on the job site with me. We've gotten so busy that he has to be there with me. But you know what? We're always wearing masks for what it's worth. I hear good and bad things about masks, but we're always wearing masks, and we're trying to stay healthy, trying to stay fit, and trying to take precautions. But I appreciate you asking, Vic. Look, Vic, I'm really excited for you to go to Indiana. I think it'll be nice for you to be closer to your family. Again, is Philly okay, Vic, or is Philly kind of in a rough patch right now? Are the riots still happening, or have they been shut down? I'm curious to know. Dave, how's everything in Kentucky? Have there been riots in Kentucky? Have they slowed down? I think you were saying last time that they were closer in the city, and you're way outside of the city, sort of thing. All right. It's my second time saying this. Peeps, Philly still has some looting. I didn't feel safe there. Yeah, Vic, I hear you, man. Peeps, the second time I'm going to bring this up. If there are any plumbers here from Ontario, we have a friend on this live chat right now named NKF who's looking for a job, who's looking for a plumbing apprenticeship. So please do me a favor and do us a favor. Let us know down in the comments right here in this chat if there are any companies that you know are hiring, if the company you have is hiring. We'd be really interested in knowing that so we can send a resume out, okay? So if you can help our friend NKF, that would be fantastic, fantastic. In Lexington, where I am, it's a peaceful protest about 60 miles away is where, oh man, PD, more violent riots there. Man, Peeps, I heard about the Breonna Taylor thing recently, actually. That is one sad story, man. That is, oh, man. That's just a heartbreaking story, Oof, man, the heaviness, man, the heaviness. Such a sad story, man. Makes you rest in peace, man. Man, what a story. And again, oh, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. Is that training? Can that be changed in training? Wasn't there a permit where they could just walk in? Oh, man. Oh, man. And also, weren't they looking for drugs and like there were none? Something like that, man. I don't know what's going on. Man. Training. 5-year apprenticeship. That's what we need, man. 5-year apprenticeships. That's what we need. Shout out to all the black plumbers out there. All right, Vic. All right. All right, I'm down with that. But yeah, so, man, weird times, man. Scary, sad, strange times, man. Strange times. There's got to be a recovery. There's got to be. Peeps, there's got to be a recovery, man. I know that the world is crumbling around us, but you know what? The silver lining here is when the rioting, the looting, when all this happens, you know who has to help rebuild? Plumbers, electricians, tradesmen, tradeswomen. That's what we do. We build. We build. That's what we do. So, you know what? The world's going to need us more than ever. So, we're prepared to work, all of us right here, and that's the way it is. That's the way it is. I like the love going on down here. I like the love going on down here. Good for you, peeps. Good for you. So remember, that's our duty, right? Like we have, called a no-knock warrant. Yes, they went in heavily armed due to known weapons. Some officers fired when they saw movement, which was her sitting up in bed. Yeah, man. Man. Yeah, man. What a story, man. What a story. What a story. I'm sure no-knock permits have a purpose that's been useful in the past, but this is also a loophole, right? When somebody barges through your door, it's, man. And KF, I know, man. I know, like, man, I think this, I don't know, man. I don't know. Is it training? I'd assume it's training. But no-knock warrants are really strange to me because, again, if somebody barges in through my door, I have to get up. I have to get up. I've got people. I've got people I got to protect. Do you know what I'm saying? I have to get up. I have to. You know what I'm saying? No matter what. No matter what. No matter how scared I am, I got to get up. I got to get up and do something. So I don't know. I don't know. No knock warrants and how trigger happy or how easy people are on the triggers, man. And KFGH, some yes, some do their best to do the job right. Dave, again, I agree. I think, again, I think there's a lot of really good police officers that would have handled that situation different. And that's why I think if you haven't heard the Jocko conversation, it's really interesting to listen to because here's somebody who it takes 16 months to deploy a Marine unit. 16 months of training. Listen, 16 months of training for that specific job. 16 months. Every single day training. You hear me? That's what it takes. Everyday training. So, who's Drew Brees anymore after his comments? Who's Drew Brees? So imagine police officers got to deal with some really, really difficult situations. And if they're not getting the same sort of training, man, they're learning on the job. And let me tell you, as a plumber, one of the hardest things to do is learn on the job correctly. You know what I'm saying? You learn on the job the first time that you did a bad job. You know what I'm saying? So, Saints quarterback. Oh, Vic, I don't follow Drew Brees. What did Drew Brees say? NKF, man, I definitely think that there is a handful of police officers, and I'm hoping it's a minority, a small amount, that have power issues. I'm hoping it's this amount, you know what I'm saying? I definitely think that happens. And then I think there's a lot of police officers that, again, have had the right training, know the protocols, and are good at it, but I think, unfortunately, those individuals don't make the news. You know what I'm saying? Good plumbers don't make the news either. Good plumbers you don't hear about good plumbers. You hear about bad plumbers. You know what I'm saying? And that's always the case, unfortunately. You always hear about the bad plumbers. Anyways. Quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. Thanks, NKF. He said he doesn't respect anybody kneeling for the flag. Man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I believe in people's rights to protest. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you want to kneel for the flag, I think some people might find that disrespectful, but I also would say, look, it's within your rights to do it. So you do whatever it is you want to do, as long as it's peaceful. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's most important to make sure your cause is no. You know what I'm saying? I think the most romantic version of this is you're basically dealing because you feel sad that the flag can represent something that you're not happy with. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's a kneel against the flag. It's a kneel against the society, something within society at the moment. So, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think people's right to protest is really important. Lady Moore, are you saying I'm correct? I think that's what it is. I hope I got that right. So I don't think people are turning their backs on the flag. I think they're. Oh, thanks, Lady Moore. I think they're just sad to see um, something that they love, which is their flag, but things that are happening in society that they're not happy with. You know what I'm saying? And police brutality is one of those things. Dave is saying, as a veteran, I respect the right to protest. I just don't agree with someone kneeling during the national anthem, etc. I see. I see. I see. And look, that's within your rights as well. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's important for us to have an open dialogue. I think, again, I don't think it's a kneel against the national anthem. I think it's a kneel as a commentary of sadness, uh, something that they're so proud of, which is the national anthem, but something that they're so sad about at the same time. You know what I'm saying? You know when people take their flags down to half mast? That's how I sort of look at it. It's not that they're not proud of that flag, but they're bringing it down because they're sad about something. Usually, there's a passing of somebody or a passing something a tragic event, and I think that's sort of what kneeling represents. That's how I always understood it. It's not they don't like the flag. It's that you know during this moment, the flag doesn't fly as tall as we want it to. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what kneeling is. They are present for the national anthem because it's still their anthem. But either way, Dave, I appreciate you letting us know that you're a veteran. First of all, people are thanking you for your service, and that's awesome. And you know what? I believe in your right to feel the way you feel about the national anthem as well. It's all love here, peeps. This year started messed up in January this year when we had a week-long state of emergency because we had over 90 centimeters of snow. And things just kept getting crazier and weirder. What a time. Marshall's Mellow, absolutely. Absolutely. Man, this year. Man, this year. This has been a year to remember. Dave, out of curiosity, when you served, were you serving for the Army? Were you serving for the Air Force? What did you do during your years in the, I guess, armed forces? You got none, Dave? Oh man. Oh man, we got snow. There are going to be a lot of babies because of that snow. Army combat medic. Oh, very cool. Dave, how long were you a combat medic? Marshall's Mellow, Newfoundland. That's right. Everybody was saying Newfoundland's going to have a boom in babies soon because of that. Dude, didn't they bring in the Army to help you guys out? That's so funny, man. 20 years, Dave. Wow. Wow, dude. Wow. Very cool. Very cool. NKF is thanking you for the service. I always wanted to be in the military when I was younger. 3 combat tours. Dave, where did you tour? Yeah, Dave, absolutely. Thank you for your service, even though I'm not American. That's why you started plumbing late. Yeah, you were busy. You were busy protecting, man. You were busy being a medic. That is so cool. Where did you deploy? We still have 6 months to go in 2020. Oh, Vic, I know, man. They did the Army. They did. The Army was called in, and people were trapped inside for days, not able to shovel out. Yep. Afghan, all 3 times. So we're talking about George W. Bush the second? Is that how you say it? George W. Yeah, that was George W. Bush the second, no? Was that during his presidency? How cool is this, man? Man. We called him W. And yes, absolutely cool. Dave, that's awesome. But here's a question. In comparison to plumbing, how hard were those tours? I imagine you saw some things that were really difficult to cope with. Coronavirus is booming in Florida. Vic, is that because last tour was the best, worked for a 2-star? Oh, you got a 2-star? Is that what it means? And Arizona. So, Vic, was that happening because of the protests and riots, you think? Is that why it started picking up? What do we got here? The army was called in, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you were a personal medic for a two-star general. Oh, I see. I see. Very cool. Dave, would you go back? Would you do it all again? You ever think about being a plumber for the army? I imagine they need them. I have no idea, but they said that the heat would kill the virus, but that doesn't seem to be true. Vic, the virus was booming out in Australia, so I don't think that's true at all. I think really hot climates have the virus for a while. I also heard that. I heard a couple of people say that the virus seems to die off during the summertime. Man, I don't know, man. I don't know if that's going to be the case. Oh, Dave. Dave, two-star general. That's really cool. And in Arizona. I'm in Vegas and numbers are spiking and it's 102 outside. Oof. Oof. Man. Lady Moore, natural? Yeah, I hear that. No, situations happen. I don't want to talk about when overseas. Let's just say I'm not the same as I was before. Dave, I hear you, fam. I hear you. Again, that is also one of the hardest jobs on the planet. You see some of the most difficult things ever, ever. So, Dave, again, much respect to you for putting your life on the line for your country. That's a beautiful thing right there. You did a bunch of people a great service, and everybody's ever thankful for your service. That's so cool. And again, thank you. I'm not American either, but you know, I really appreciate what you did for the people that you care for. You know what I'm saying? Kenny, do you think you will have to wear masks forever? Vic, I don't know. I don't know. I think it'll definitely be. I think some people will learn to do it as a habit. So I think for myself, I might be wearing masks way more in the future. And to be honest, I find that it's actually helpful. That it's actually quite helpful to keep wearing masks because I think we're healthier on the job site with masks anyways. You know what I'm saying? They might not have to be medical grade, but you know, they do help. So like they help with dust and stuff like that. So I'm thinking about it. I don't know. What about you, Vic? What about you, Dave? You think we're gonna be maxed up for a while? It's an interesting question. The problem is how expensive masks can get. My sister hooked me up with a cotton mask. She's starting to do that. Trump refuses to wear a mask. You know, a few weeks back, I thought I heard Trump's cabinet minister or something like that got sick with COVID. You hate them, Dave. Okay, what I hate the most about masks is when you got your safety glasses on, right? You got your safety glasses on, you're breathing into this mask, and it's going right up to your glasses, and it's fogging you up so you can't see a damn thing. You don't know what to do. Like, that's not safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't see what you're doing with that power tool. So you either got to take off the mask or take off the glasses, but, you know, you got to take off the mask because the glasses are more important in that situation, I assume. Yeah, that would be tough, man. Wearing a mask forever. Trump refuses to wear masks. Yeah, yeah. Hey, your election's coming up. I know that feeling, Kenny. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Dude, I hate it. I hate wearing masks for that one reason, NKF. And Vic, I hate that experience, man. It's the worst, man. And then when it gets really warm, you start sweating behind your mask. Yeah, maybe slightly claustrophobic, but I just can't breathe good in them. Yeah, I hear that, Dave. Trump is going to destroy Biden. Peeps, you guys have an election coming up. And it's 2020, right? Like, it's happening this year. It's not happening in 2021. So, Peeps, like, this ain't the end of 2020 for our American friends, I don't think, man. Man, you still got an entire election to go through. There's going to be a lot of November, Dave. Oof. Woof. It's happening. It's happening, man. I honestly hope everything calms down before then. I really hope it doesn't get crazy into the election cycle, man. That's not going to be good for everybody. Mail-in voting, yeah. Yeah. Are you, maybe they're opening up online voting? Is that a thing? Or, no, I think online was a big deal last time, right? Do you remember that conversation about uh, Russia hacking into the entire system? So I think the online thing ain't happening, I assume. So mail-in voting, or you're going to have to go to the polls and do your thing there. So make sure you guys have all your polling places ready to go. You know where to go, man. Oh, man. Are you guys, have you decided on who you're voting for already? Do you think it's going to be Trump 2021 or 2020? What do you think? I don't know, man. If I had to guess, I think Trump's going to win again only because of oh yeah, David's like, "Oh yeah." I don't know, man. He had such a strong following last time. And the problem is, the thing that I think is that everything that I think, and this is really just me spitballing, that I think the Trump voter hated and voted for Trump happened even more so this year. Like, in other words, like, you hear conversations about the far left, right? The far left and its extreme ideology. And I assume that the Trump voter really hates the far left. And there's been a lot of action on the far left, you know what I'm saying? So from what I understand, if I'm right about that and what I've been hearing, I think, yeah. So David's saying he agrees and that it's the issue almost is lesser of two evils with Trump and Biden. Interesting. So Trump is actually doing until Corona happened. Was he doing well or bad until Corona happened, Vic? I don't know enough about American politics. But so is Biden the really old gentleman? Is he the gentleman that he was doing really good until the coronavirus? Is Biden the individual that has a hard time remembering things? Because I've seen so many clips of him stumbling through his speeches. Poor guy. Poor guy. Yes, Lady Moore. Yeah, thank you. Because, oh my goodness. Oh, man, yeah, Dave, yeah, Sleepy Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, hello, you guys. Oh, man, it's really painful sometimes, and you feel, oh, man, Joe the Sniffer. Oh, yeah, Dave. Man, I don't know what happened, man. What just happened? Do you guys think that it should have been Bernie? Do you think Bernie should have beat Biden? How did Bernie not beat Biden? Bernie, though, is very left. What did Dylan G say? Dylan G said they were both old and senile. David's like, yeah, his health. Oh, hell no. David said, oh, hell no. People have common sense. Lady Moore is saying his health. Oh, was it Bernie's health? Bernie would have a better chance than Joe. You know what? With the amount of, I think Bernie really spoke out to a lot of, especially the further leaning left individuals, to be honest. So I was surprised it wasn't Bernie Trump at the end. I was surprised. I didn't even see Biden coming. I don't know where this guy came from. And with his performance ability, I'm surprised that he could beat Bernie, to be honest, because Bernie is usually really good on the stage and really good with his words, and he really has his opinion down packed. You know what I'm saying? So it was a little bit strange to go, what? What happened? What happened to Bernie? I could see him running as VP and then declare Biden insane and then take off as Dave. That's an interesting idea right there. So, quick question. Can we name our favorite presidents that you've lived through? And that's just everybody. Who, if you can go back and get somebody, who would we get? Who would we get? That's what I want to know. Would we go? Bernie is 78. Reagan, David, all the way to Reagan. All right, all right. David, JFK. Oh, that far back? How come I'm not hearing Obama? Did we not like Obama's 8 years in office? Was Obama not doing the right policies or what? One thing, JFK was good as well, but not in my lifetime. Yeah, Dave. That's what I was thinking. Vic, you're younger than David. What's going on? Who did you live through that you go back? Anybody but Clinton or Obama? Irving, 1K. Irving showed up for the political talk. Interesting. No Clinton and no Obama. Interesting. One thing I got to say about Obama was I always enjoyed listening to him talk. He really was, I think they called it oration. He was really good at being an orator. Puppet Obama, he's evil, LOL. Oh, NKF. I always was impressed by he had natural charisma on stage, I found. Obama was a great speaker. That is it, Dave. All right, well, at least we agree on that. I'm happy to hear that because I always found his presence on stage really kind of like breathtaking. Like he was just, man, he commanded that stage. He really knew how to do it. He stood up there and he had that strong voice and it was like, whoa, man. It was a big deal when Obama got elected for a lot of people, man. Obama was, I remember how happy everybody was. It was a big deal, man. It was a very cool moment in history. But people weren't happy with his office. He lost me with the I speech after we got OBL. That was a setup. What was the setup, Lady Moore? Wasn't live during JFK, but I agree with a lot of his viewpoints. Got it. Obamacare is hurting this country. I've heard similar things. Man, here's what I really don't know. And Peeps, I don't know how we went from plumbing to politics, but maybe they're intertwined. Here's the question that I have. I keep hearing that the black unemployment rate is at its lowest right now in a really long time in all of Obama's presidency. And then I hear some people say, oh, that's it piggybacking off of the Obama. And other people are saying, no, Trump's policies are just really good for the black community. Is this true? What do you guys think? Is it coming off of Obama's term? Or is Trump like taking out a bunch of regulations that are letting people find jobs easier? I don't know, man. Yeah, lots of terrible jobs for everybody. Dylan G says, yep, Trump created the best economy we ever had. Wow. Honestly, I think it is both. Interesting, Dave. Thanks. Maybe Trump isn't as good as people think. Trump is cool with me. Lady Moore, cool. All right. I don't know. I think it's really important that the stats come out. I think it's also really important that we make sure that people that are doing the statistics are upholded by their code of ethics, right? I hate the idea of people treating the statistic to make it seem some way. So I think those things are important. I think statistics really tell you what's going on, what trends are happening, and you're able to make informed decisions from there. So either way, jobs are good. Dylan G says that bad jobs for everybody, but what has to be remembered is the presidency is not one person. Both had good teams. Yeah, Dave, I agree with you. I agree. It is a team effort. And honestly, teams are everything, man. Teams are everything. Like you just can't do it all. It's exhausting. Peeps, I'm gonna cut this off in about, let's say, 3 minutes. So if you got any questions plumbing wise, can you do me a favor and hit that thumbs up? And I gotta thank everybody again for the super chats. Dave, you're a sweet man. NKF, I appreciate you all. I got more, but I couldn't find the names. Thank you so much for the super chats. They're very, very useful. They've really helped with the channel. I'm able to upload more videos and also get editors basically to help me upload those videos. So I really appreciate that. I also really appreciate you all being really civil during this conversation of politics. We went all the way from Chris, just finding out about you, man. Keep up. I'll always support you. I appreciate you, Chris. I really do. Thanks so much. Getting my tax forms now to go take test. Thanks, guys. Lady Moore, kick butt. Kick butt on that test. Even if you do poorly, you're one step ahead of doing better. Only and the best plumbing channel I follow. Irving, you're a sweet creature. Thank you, fam. Thank you. I really appreciate you. Peeps, I appreciate you all keeping it civil. We all have different opinions, but we live on the same rock. We're all one community. So I really appreciate the love that you're supporting with me. And also just talking about things that are difficult, because you know what? That's what it takes to be good community members and to also build community. David Dillon, again, thank you for your service. That is awesome. 20 years ain't no joke. That's a lot of time to spend on the battlefield. 3 tours, you were saying, and the last one was with a 2-star general. So awesome. Lady Moore's thanking David again. Dave, let me know how the drain work's happening, and you had to unclog a vent. That's really interesting. No, thank you, Dave. Thank you. Again, David, thank you for the super chat. Any tips for apprentice plumbers just getting in the trade? Chris, especially if you're just getting in, it's going to be a lot of watching, unfortunately, and a lot of asking questions. And remember, when to ask questions is important as well, because if you're in front of a customer, that might not be the right time. Best times to ask a question is when it's just you and the journey person, or if you're driving in a truck out to a job site, and you can ask a question then as well. On the job's good. NKF, thank you. One more time, peeps. If there are any plumbers here in Ontario, and you know of a company that is hiring, please let us know down below. Leave a comment, because NKF's looking for a job, and we really, really want to see if we can help our community members out, okay? NKF, thank you for the super chat again, man. I really appreciate it. So Chris, yeah, just ask questions and watch. And then once you do that enough, you are eventually going to be able to get your hands on the tools. And that's always going to be the better step, you know, the more fun. David is saying, run to Chris, LOL. Yeah, you got nothing to worry about, but it takes a while to learn this trade. Takes a while. Peeps, I'm going to call it there. Really appreciate the love and support. Have a great weekend. Please stay safe. Have a great week. Please stay healthy. Much love. Thanks for all the support. And I'll see you plumbers very soon. Oh, let's go do some delicious plumbing. A lot of getting tools out of the truck. It's fun. Lady Moore, yeah, absolutely. And I'll see you plumbers very soon. Kenny Molotov, guys. Peace, baby.